Bruce is on Facebook. What's your opinion on settling old debts for less than what is owed? Well, the only reason you would do that is if you do not have the money to pay what is owed. Let's start with the moral principle. The moral thing to do is if you owe money and you have the money to pay the bill that you have, you should simply pay it. So you owe $1,000 on a bill from 5 years ago, and now you have $1,000, you should simply pay the bill. But let's say that you have tens of thousands of dollars of old debt, and you're just digging your way out, and you don't have any money today. But you save up $1,000, you owe tens of thousands, and you offer that $1,000 to someone that you owe $3,000 to, and they decide to accept it because it's been 5 years since they've gotten any money, and you say, I got $1,000 today. If you want that, we'll settle it. If you don't want that, we won't settle it. And they decide to accept it, then what that is you had a contract, a handshake, if you will, for $3,000. The contract went bad, and now you're making an offer to change the contract. If the party that is owed the money says, no, I want my $3,000, well, you owe them $3,000. You legally will have to pay them. Morally will have to pay them. But if they say, no, it's been a long time, then I'll take a bird in the hand rather than 16 promises from you. I'll take my $1,000 and run. I'll take $1,000 for the $3,000 debt. Then get that in writing and no electronic access to your checking account. They don't have access to your money. You get it in writing from them, and there's no moral breakdown on settling that debt. But if you're sitting on $10,000 and you owe $1,000 and you call and settle that debt, there's a moral breakdown there. I wouldn't do that. You owe the money. You should pay the bill that you owe. And by the way, that, Bruce, is what we've exactly said for 25 and a half years here on the air. That has never changed one time. Now, I get calls where I never talk about parts of that discussion, or I just say, this is how you settle the debt. But in talking to the person, I'm finding out that the person's broke. So I don't need to have a big moral discussion with them. They're broke. They have no money. And so you get what you can get, you know. I mean, I got a guy that owes me $40,000 that didn't pay me 15 years ago. If he calls me up today and says, I'll give you $4,000 for that $40,000 debt that I owe you, would you settle it? I would say, yeah, because I don't think I'm ever going to see any of that money, ever. And I'd be happy to get anything out of that guy. And I'd be happy to. I would be blessed. I would be $4,000 off to the good. Because I will never see the 40 in my lifetime. That guy is not going to call up and pay his bill. It's not going to happen. And he's not going to call up and offer the 4 either, by the way. But point being, I'm on the other side of the equation here. If I'm the creditor, if you're the creditor and you haven't been paid in 6 months and you don't think you're going to get paid and somebody offers you, well, you take what you can get. And you say, I made a bad deal. I shouldn't have made a deal with that guy. And because he can't manage money or he's bad or whatever. But for whatever reason or another, you're agreeing to accept it. So I do not, as a philosophical thing, an integrity thing, say that if you settle a debt, you have done something wrong automatically. As a matter of fact, you should offer to settle debts and try to clean them and to try to do something by the debt that you owe. And by the way, legally that helps you. By the way, financially that helps you. By the way, it actually helps your credit, because all that bad debt out there hanging on your credit is going to destroy it continually until it's paid. And it does not really go away. I know after 7 years it's supposed to drop off, and it does most of the time, but sometimes they reset it, and man, here we go again. And it's just, your 7 years can start over. It's not supposed to, but believe me, I've run into stuff that was 14, 15 years old still showing up on a credit bureau report. And so this idea that you're somehow going to get away from it is just not, by not paying it is not the right thing. So go settle it. Go do something with the debt. Do the best you can do with the money that you have and make it go as far as you can go. But sometimes I get people who are Pharisees who are like, everybody ought to pay 100% every time or you're going to hell. I mean, these people get all torqued out. These are people who have never been broke, number one. And they're probably people who have never been on the other side of not getting paid. Like, I've not gotten paid people that owe me is what I'm saying. and I'm happy to take a little off the top to get some money out of them. Be happy to settle that with them if I could get something. I've done that before. Now, don't relish the idea. I'd rather just get the money that's owed to me. But if the guy's broke, and I believe he's broke, and he's offering me a settlement, hey, he's at least standing here, you know? Hey guys, thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, click the subscribe button to get the latest content and check out these other great clips from the show.